Hey, Mr. Craig, how are you?
Good, thanks, Ralph. How's it
Hey,
going?
this is our first unofficial podcast actually, because we were supposed to have a meeting and then today it got too late. We were at the conference and doing all this other stuff, and he said, "Well, you know what? Let's not keep people hanging. Let's put something in there, podcast style." So, by the way, it is not March 29. So if you're looking at this, are you looking? Am I looking at an old show? No, you're not looking at an old show. We're just looking at the old slides because we're going to do a visit back. So, I think this is actually useful because this was the last show over here because I just wanted to point out that in our last show, yes, we did talk about, we had pizza. Yeah, you guys missed it, and it was good. And I took some
Yes, we
home.
have in-person meeting. We actually had
And
people show up at the Aon Center.
yes, we had quite a few people actually show up, and we actually didn't have as much pizza to take home. How about that? There was only some pizza to take home. All right, and then we were looking at AI stuff, and AI is the big news these days. I know that. We'll talk about that in a bit. But I want to highlight this one over here. See this little piece over here? I'm going to make it big. Zoom in.
So
Uh, let me
that's
zoom.
Ralph. Ralph,
Zoom. Zoom. There we go. Hey, I keep zooming up this part. What's that say? Craig Jenke, TBD. So the TBD company. Have you joined the TBD company yet, sir?
yes. So for everybody who's listening, I will be joining Ralph at Sagetti. So
Oh my gosh, what a strange coincidence. I'm totally in shock that you're joining me. I guess I got to be prepared, get the red carpet out to bring you in for onboarding and all that stuff. So that should be fun.
yeah, I just got to see if how we work together because I Ralph's at the national level and I'll just be the Chicago region. So
Well, here's the good thing though. Remember before our teams access between each other, we'll now have that back.
yes, so we'll be able to
And
play.
we'll have that with full powers where we can actually share stuff and not worry about may I show this or may I not and all that stuff. We can literally phew,
Yes,
we can
no
actually
NDA between us.
go out of the same dog dish, I guess. I'm well, maybe not that exactly, but yeah.
Yeah. So I'll have to have Ralph show me all of his tricks behind the scenes stuff that he keeps for the Power Platform.
There we go. So we're let's just say we're going to be completely aligned from this point out. For, who knows for how long? We'll see. Because as they say, Craig could get a nice little promotion, go way up the ladder, and we won't see him again. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm pretty much in my level over here. The older I get, but that's fine. That's all fine and well. We want to let you guys have that news over here. So when we say Sagetti, we don't have to mix and match anymore for at least for a little while.
Yeah,
Unless
so
we get more
then that might
partners.
mean we'll have to check, but we might be able to have the user group meeting at the Sagetti office, which is on the
Ooh.
Wacker Drive, which is closer to the train station for those people coming in from downtown.
Downtown, or we might be able to even do a suburban thing potentially in Westchester. That's even a possibility now because technically speaking, if you're for the Chicago unit, you have access to both those facilities.
Yeah,
It's
I
supposed to
wasn't
be
sure. I heard they're
supposed to be
combining the
corporate.
office. Nobody seems to know
Yeah,
how when
that's
they're.
right. They're
But,
combining the office, maybe. Huh, that'd be interesting. I know I'm corporate, so technically speaking, I have an office in Dayton.
well,
I don't know.
we're
So
not having it
I guess
there.
one day I should go. I go see visit my office. I guess.
We could have it there, but that's a commute.
Yeah, that is a commute. So we'll take a look.
If
You're out in the
if
burbs. I'm in the city. We could maybe use that one day as a potential in between for some of our friends.
Dayton,
Yeah. So
Westchester
so
is not easy for you to get to. So
no, not exactly. But like I said, if I'm in the neighborhood or if I just feel like fighting the Eisenhower, maybe I might do that.
quite
I
honestly,
see.
for me, taking the train downtown is going to be easier to go to Westchester. But
Oh, really? I can't say Eisenhower late because I took the Eisenhower. So, oh well.
although it isn't too bad because it's kind of before everything. I just don't have a direct like route there because it's.
Ah,
But I know
all
the
right.
restaurants there because I used to work at Sagetti back it's between 2013 and 2015. So
True
it's
enough.
been a few years, but
So in the meantime, we're over here. So we have like well, we're the speakers. We don't have to show this stuff over there. This was the old slides. But basically we last left our adventures. We were playing with the AI stuff. Things have happened since. And actually a lot of this stuff that we were showing is things that we're allowed to show you. So last week both Craig and I were at the Microsoft because Craig is, by the way, if you recall, newly minted MVP. or freshly minted, I should say, not newly because it's been a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's January. Was I in January or
January,
February?
that's right, for this year. So freshly minted. And we both got to go to our first in person MVP summit in Seattle last week. And I guess I
That's a
don't
good question I have
I
for you.
don't
What
have a
do you think
site,
of the summit?
so I can't really show pictures of that because technically speaking, every time I bring it up, it says NDA. Be sure not to show anyone. What did I think of it? Here's my take on it. My take on it's the last time I got that much dump of
Oh,
insider
wait,
information.
before we do that, why don't we
Oh, yes.
talk a little bit about what the actual MVP summit
Oh, yes.
is?
Okay, let's explain. The Microsoft most valuable professionals, these are the people that are in the community, like what we're doing right over here, that do things for folks, not necessarily for companies, not necessarily for the benefit of money over here. As for example, they're not the ones that are going to have you attend and pay them $400 to see them speak. You will see them at user groups. You'll see them maybe in conferences. You may have to pay the conference to go see them, but they're part of that. And sometimes they're at the conference on their own volition or for super cheap. Or for that matter, they make themselves available to you through their LinkedIn, through their contacts. Maybe they're helping you in the forums. If you've been to the forums and you see the folks that are helping you out there, maybe they're the ones contributing to like the open source stuff that's all over there. Maybe they're the ones that, and they're called regional directors, are the other ones that help Microsoft come up with strategies, and they're not doing it again from the company perspective, but they're doing it from, let's just say, the more global piece, because everyone in a company like even ours will have like our own take that says, well, Microsoft, you and us, you and I should, hey, you should get together, we should do this kind of thing, as opposed to, hey, this is where things should be and this will benefit the world because world peace and all, right? This is that's the difference, right? So the MVPs essentially get one of the perks. Well, one of the perks, and I'm going to say it's the caveat of the perk, of course, is getting there. One of the things that they do get, besides all the nice little bennies of, a nice little plaque, an award trophy, maybe they'll get some free access to
Flags.
certain things. We get NDA information, a lot of it, right? So before something comes out, we have like product group talks where the product groups will come talk to us, get our ideas. See, maybe they'll put us on a beta or a pre-beta or a beta before beta. We might even be in one of those. You know what I'm saying? It's just all of these things come together. So once a year, they have this concept of the summit where all of the MVPs from all over come together to one place, right? I'm not sure how they used to do it before, but by the way, it's been 30 years of this program for Microsoft, and it's actually pretty successful. It's part of the reason why I think Microsoft is where it's at today because they have this kind of program. I'm sure there's other companies that do something similar, but frankly, I haven't seen anything like with the way Microsoft does it.
Yeah, it
And
definitely encourages people to go out there and promote their products.
right. I mean, they really shower you. They take care of you for the most part. There's a lot of things. I mean, there's some things that for some people they'll be like, oh, that's annoying. They don't really help with this. They don't do this much in that. There'll be complaints. There'll be all that. Sure enough. But let's just say for if an outsider looking in from it, if you just look at that program in its whole, it is frankly one of the best things that's out there. And here's the thing, it's for everyone that's here right now, for the community. The idea of them supporting the MVPs to get stuff done is so they can turn around and give this stuff back to the community, or they're well armed to do so, as opposed to everyone doing it in their own volition and basically doing it on their dime. I'm like hearing like there's places like that where people, like, just to make things nice, they pay for it out of their own goodwill. That's great that they can do that, but you can't scale with that. With Microsoft, a program like this, it can scale. So our M365 Chicago events, that's us, right? Microsoft will recognize that, and maybe as part of us becoming MVP, say, hey, you did something like that, yeah, you should be an MVP because you did that. But of course, there's more to it. It's how to be an MVP. You can go to mvp.microsoft.com right now and you go figure out how you yourself can do it. You can get advice from folks like us. We can nominate new MVPs. Microsoft folks can nominate new MVPs, things like that. But of course, the caveat is there's community stuff. So I'll give you an example. In my case, I haven't been an MVP. I only got one my line last year, and even Craig only got recently. What's the difference? A lot of the work that we used to do, and wasn't community enough. It was really like we were really good in our companies. We did stuff. We made a lot of clients happy. We got well known for all this stuff. Microsoft might have heard us and all that stuff, but we didn't spend as much time showing it to the community. Or if we did, we didn't, bother to, let's just say, fill in the form that says, hey, should I get some recognition for the fact that I did
Yeah, we didn't really
MVP over
promote it very
there?
well.
We didn't
Also,
promote it very well. We were very ridiculously altruistic and selfless, I guess.
I was kind of across the board too, so they really like
Yes.
somebody who focuses on a general area. So whether that's Power Platform, that's
Yes.
SharePoint, that's Teams, that's OneDrive, that's AI, that's
So good point. Good
Azure.
point right over there. Because right now our MVPs are in the Power Platform side, or rather business applications. And business applications includes Dynamics. You're saying, well, hold on a second. Aren't those really their own things? You might think that that particular case. Microsoft looks at it in that way, and they'll give the award based on that. All right. It does mean that even though you're an MVP in one thing, they let you see the other MVP stuff. So I get sometimes I'll look at the Azure stuff because I probably would have been an Azure one if I stuck to all the cloud stuff. Maybe there's modern work where SharePoint and all that stuff. If I stuck to that, maybe I was going to do it. And this is the case for Craig. Craig literally has been all over the board, especially from between SharePoint, between this, between, gosh,
Teams, Viva.
Teams, Viva, all that. You've been like all over the place. So it's really hard to like have a weight. And then they're like saying, well, what are you an MVP on? Because we have to give you a category. Now, mind you, there's some people that are so really they're spread out, but they contribute so much that they're actually recognized for more than one MVP. But I have not seen someone recognized for two or three. I think those folks are called the regional directors. Essentially, they're guiding Microsoft, helping guide Microsoft, just like the partners of their partners on big strategies. So they would be, you could say, the multi-faceted MVP-ish type folks. But from MVPs, it's usually one specific area, at best two, if you're a crazy person in the community and really you have lots of time on your hand, or that's it, that's your life. You're doing it that way. Because I think the ones that can do that, especially, are independents who are
Yeah,
not beholden to companies that say you better be building, you better be doing this. They have the time. This is great. I mean, not to say that they're not doing anything uh, proper or anything like that. We are appreciative of all the MVPs that contribute. Again, every single one that exists out there essentially puts into the big group of knowledge and group of effort that brings it out for everybody. So even though they might be focused in one country, one area, one zone, it's it adds up. You know what I mean? I know. So how do you feel being an MVP now, Mr. Craig? How does it feel? Feeling good?
um, pretty good. I like the conference. I thought it was good. The problem I had with it is it's all NDA stuff, right? So then you're kind of going, what do
Yeah,
I
you
do
go
with it?
there. Hey, great. We're going to a place we can't talk about to hear more stuff that we can't talk about because you can't talk about it. It's fight. Basically, we went to Fight Club Summit. Basically,
Yeah, and there's a lot of information. It's hard to see it all. It is nice to meet the other MVPs. There was some good stuff there, some good
and the
networking
Microsoft
opportunities.
people that are behind the products.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, and the
they're
Microsoft people
they're
behind the
more
product.
keen to come see you because they really basically it's in their I guess it's in their bonus plan or someplace that they have to come see you at least, and they can check it out. Yeah, I saw the MVP. But that, not to say that they're doing it because they have to, but it's very nice to get that attention from the Microsoft product folks. I mean, real. It's not like fake attention. You can feel the genuine. I felt it. It felt genuine to me for all the folks that we were running into, at
Yeah.
least.
So I'm looking
So
forward to next year. So next year is, I think, I shouldn't divulge this, but I talked to some people and they were saying maybe March next year because it was late this year and they start
yes,
running into um some other things that are happening with their business and it
exactly.
it becomes forced for them to do it. So
Yes,
they're
that makes
hoping to
sense.
do it in March next year.
with
So
with more notice coming in, because part of it also was a lot of the notice for this particular one because they weren't sure yet. Remember, we're coming out of the pandemic. This is the first one because it got pretty much kiboshed by the pandemic before,
yeah,
and they did like a virtual one last time, and they tried to do a hybrid this time, so it was going to be based on everything they knew they were going to try. Even this was a stretch for them, something different to some extent. They didn't have all the pieces down, but it looks like now that they have things down, they'll be able to get
I
things
think it
figured
went
out.
well and there had been a slight time downturn in the economy. So Microsoft, I believe, laid
Oh,
off some
yeah, and that
people.
was going on at the same time.
So you want to be sensitive to that. So
Yeah. That's true. So that
Uh,
was going. This is going on at the same time. So even us, we're like very on edge, watching ourselves closely over here. So I'm glad that Craig was able to at least come to our team over here to at least keep him going on that edge as well. So we're going to be watching things closely as we move forward. As my on my take of it, like I said, it's the first time I got that much dump of insider information since I was working with Reuters long ago. Reuters was a big customer of Microsoft, and I remember going to learn about this thing called is it still an NDA? This thing called NT, and some of this Windows 2000 stuff that they were. It was called. Oh no, it was called Windows. It had a code name. Can't talk about it because it might still be on the NDA. No, but that's how long ago. It's in the 90s, man. When I had that much dump. Otherwise, it was like tech eds that I used to go to where I would get, like you'd go there at a conference once a year and I'd get freshened up with all that tech. But that tech at least was tech I could use right away. It was open. I could talk about. This is stuff that, yeah, I can use, but I can't talk about it. I can use maybe as a partner. I can take advantage of it and stuff, but it's like I have to wait. I got to wait for the schedule. Speaking of schedules, and that's what I wanted to go into really quick. I think last two sessions we talked about something called the release planner, and I
yes.
want to bring it back because hey, the release planner, this is for real. You need to look at your release plans. Oh, I have no results because I didn't sign in. But if I signed in for my release plans, the idea is I would go over here for Power Platform, find something that I'm watching. In this case, let's Power Apps. Let's go see, by the way, while I'm here, what's recently coming soon. So we have planned coming soon and try now. So here's stuff that's in try now mode. Let's go to try now. Fusion components and collaboration, efficient makers, collaboration, modern user experience. Let's go look at that one for a moment. So try now. Build Canvas apps by using new and refreshed controls. So this just came out March. Oh, here are some newer
Yeah,
dates. Here we
April's.
go. Improved UX for sharing records. So let me look at this one over here with the refresh controls. So Power Apps now have an updated user interface for fluent design system. So this is stuff that we can talk about, right? We can talk about, even though we were at the NDA things over here, we could talk about the stuff that they say is coming soon. So I'm going to coming soon over here. And let's take a look at this one. And embed a Power Virtual Agent using a chatbot control. All right. So we probably saw this. I'm not going to say if we did or not last week. But they would show something like this to us. So here's what's out there now, or here's what's coming, and we would get to see what it is they're actually going to come out with, or maybe they're going to show this is the latest version of it, not what we showed when you click on new more over here. There might be an article on it in some cases, and you can click on it to follow through. All right, but these are the things we can talk about. But here's where it's noted. It's in the release wave. So let's go to the release overview in this particular case. There's a PDF file, and of course there's
And a
like
video.
and a video to check it out. Let's go to the PDF for just a second. If I can do that. Come on. PDF, let's open. Come on. PDF. Something tells me it is already downloaded or it's somewhere here. I'm not sure how these kind of windows work with that over here. Power Apps Docs, official docs, official learning. Let me see if I can do this. How about this? Oh, it's not a link. It is not a link. If it was a link, I would get a copy over here.
No, I think it's just to download the file. Like I
It's
think it
just
just
it's
drops
just
the file.
it is like a control to download the file, but it's my control for whatever reason is just not happening. Do I have a link and I can't even go and inspect it, or can I? Let's go see. Yep, it's
Um,
just a nav. It's just a nav, and it's not even. It says download. See, it's an app little thingy. App little thing he's trying to go. Okay, so I'm not going to try to do that right now, but I do. We can find the release wave specific items if we follow through over here at the least. So I just want to go through some of these over here and see if there's anything that is something we can actually talk about. So I know that everyone has seen the video. I showed the video last time of the Copilot stuff. We saw Copilots for Copilots, at this point.
Copilot.
I swear, I'm not going to say be anything more than that. But Copilot was almost like, I think I heard that 10 times an hour last week, and maybe they were repeating the word. I can't say any more than that, but everyone knows that Copilot is the word Microsoft's using for a lot of their stuff. So I showed you, I think last time we showed the Power Virtual Agents Copilot. We were going on. The Power Apps Copilot is actually out where people can actually see it. It's not
I
a
just saw a blog on topics and Copilot.
right.
There was an
So
announcement for that. That
some
was
folks
generally.
some folks on their environments, I know this for fact, a lot of folks will see like a list that says, hey, would you like to get on the preview for the AI stuff? Click here. And people clicked on there, and that this was not restricted to MVPs or partners. This was anybody who just happened to be, clicking on their Power Up platform page for a while during a particular time period. There was a window they were doing this, and then they stopped doing it. So like if you go now to a fresh tenant, you're not going to see this little box down over here.
Oh, look, they got the app in the day right on the thing now.
Yes, the app in a day. This is like one of those their workshops. This is something that they do now. It's something that they've added to the interface. By the way, the interface for some people might look different a little bit because that's what they were talking about, the UX changes. But in this particular case, this app, the free workshop over here, they always have the app in a day. And then if you go to Power Automate, there'll be to Power Virtual Agents or to a dashboard. You're going to see similar stuff with this. Microsoft is now incorporating their learning,
Right
let's just
into the
say,
platform.
promo into the platform so people can quickly get in there. It's really great. What's cool is that's actually configurable. It's like if you want to use your organization's app in a day, it could potentially point to that up there. Potentially. That's the idea. But for now, Microsoft is using that space.
I put a link to the topics announcement for Copilot in the it came out 6 days ago on the 20th.
Aha, there we go. So okay, so there's a link to that, so you can get the applicant. So if you get the preview, it's going to look like this. So I say, I watch this. This is cool. I want an app to score my social media posts. My social media posts to. I'm just going to call these people out: Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. What else do I want my app to do? I want it to score it. Not just score, to make, about that, to make social media posts to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and show a score for each post, as well as count the number of likes or stars. Likes or stars. I'm just going to say that for now. Watch. See what it does. Now, mind you, I'll warn you now, there is one error that I am going through that I'm trying to get fixed, but that doesn't matter because when you see what happens over here, it's still going to be, take a look. See the suggestions over here? Right on the side. This is the Copilot. Add a column for, give me suggestions, refresh the data. There we go. Here's what it does. It actually creates the Dataverse data for you, creates a table, and gets some sample stuff over here. Check this out. Look at these posts. Post content, post date, post time, Twitter score, Facebook score, LinkedIn score. So it was smart. It didn't say make a single score, right? It literally used the pieces over here for that. It assumed that when I meant social media post, I do a post, it's going to go to all three. Nice little assumption. What do I want changed? Let's try something. Let's say add a area for notes to improve each post. Okay, I'm just gonna, let's see what it does. Sink in. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see what it does. Look at this. How it says here's the table schema for social media posts. Add in there. Here we go. Here's the updated table schema. So let's go take a look what it did. There's notes. Look at this. And look at this. I said for how to improve each post. Look at that. This post needs more visuals. This post needs more engagement. Even the content in there
Nice.
is in the chat GPT style of what was likely to go in there. I don't know if that's impressive or not. It's like I also want it to give me a flag to decide. How about no, not to decide. Add a flag to no, add a flag. Add a how about add a expiration date for the post and expire the post on each feed on that day. I'm not sure if it's going to build that, but let's see what it does. It's probably going to create the data for it. Then it's going to do that. No, see, look at this. If it's too much, it says I can't help. So let's say add an expiration date for the post. So I'm just going to add that part first. All right. Add an expiration date. Should be able to do that. Sometimes you can do multiple combinations of stuff. I've tried that before. This is what's called, by the way, prompt engineering is what they call this. We discovered in the AI talk. When you want to make the AI give you the answers you need, you engineer the prompt, and this is the prompt. So I'm saying, here we go. Look, it died.
Something went
Something's
wrong.
going on. So I might be having a problem. But let's go ahead and see if we can create the app and see what happened so far with what I got.
Thanks, Ralph. It's creating your app for you.
I broke it. But hold on, unable to create the app. Oh, what have I got here?
Ooh.
I think I ran into an error. Good, I get to report this. Microsoft Watch this actually helped. So the app is dead, but let's go ahead and let's start it over. And let's see if I can do this again. I like this because it actually shows you now, because remember, we're in preview, so we're looking at stuff in the oven as we're going. So let's do it again. Let's go back.
Tells you can have mistakes too.
Yeah.
Don't trust it.
So I can't do this one in particular because it probably remembers all that information, but I can go ahead and go to Power Apps again. Oops, that's not Power Apps. Here we go. Let's go again. Let's start it over. I'm just going to start with the presumption to create social media posts with ratings, and then let's just see what it does out of the box. And this should mimic the app. I want an app to make social posts to. Oh, you know what? I can't say Twitter anymore. I think they're going to kill the Twitter connector. Let me just keep saying Twitter. Twitter.
Oh, I heard rumors of that. I don't know if it's true or not.
Yes, because I think there's an API cost to use their stuff now. So maybe that's what it is. Okay, so you know what? Let me take that out just in case. Maybe there is a secret. LinkedIn, Facebook, and I don't know. What's another service? Trying to think. Oh, YouTube. How about YouTube? Okay. With ratings, with post ratings, an expiration date that defaults to 6 months, and notes for improvement. Okay. Remember, that was all the stuff that I basically did one at a time. I'm just going to do it all together. See what happens. Here we go. Cross your fingers. We'll see if it kills me, because maybe my tenant said, "Hey, you're going down, buddy." And notice AI generated content can make mistakes. Make sure it's accurate and appropriate before using. Aha,
Because
it did
nobody
it
would ever
all.
just take it and use it.
Yes. So look, I misspelled. I want an app. I said I want an app, and it's like it took my spelling. So there's my notes. There's my expiration date. All right, and check it out. The dates though are in 2021 because I don't have a date for the posting. It just made some up. All right, I didn't. What I wanted to like add a column for the date post was made. Okay, that should be straightforward. It sort of makes sense, and this is the way you can play around with things, and you're going through, and you get some sample data. Usually, the complaint for like when you're making apps is you have to start with data. Check it out. Discharged. Oh, it says allergies discharged. What? Where did it come up with this? It said patient detail. What happened? Did I go to a different thing completely? I post for the date the post was made, and it said here's the updated table schema for patient details. Where's that patient stuff coming from? Huh. Something weird happened. Let's go ahead and create this app. I'm just curious what it's going to look like. If it's going to crash again. That was a weird thing, wasn't it? We're playing
Yes.
around over here. We're taking a look. Now, mind you, again, this is all cooking in the oven. Things are happening. We get to report and say, hey, you know, we're cleaning up. We're looking at stuff. What can the AI do? This is what's called, and I think the term is called hallucination, when the AI thinks you're asking it something, but it thinks that you're really asking it something else. I believe the term is hallucination. In this case, it looks like somehow it determined from what I was asking is I was asking medical stuff. And actually, to be sure, I was asking medical stuff on a previous example here before, but I'm just curious what kind of app it makes. But this is what it's supposed to do now. Like I said, it's one piece is not going to work for sure. That's I know because they're fixing it on my tenant, and maybe that's the problem going on. My tenant's broke. For now, let's take a look. The idea over here is like this is just for Power Apps. Now imagine this for anything you're doing for Docs, for Word, for any app in any. Just think of it in React and Java or some other code tool. There it is. So it's asking to connect to a data source. Nope. Ooh, it might be working. They might have fixed the problem. So in this case, though, let me go ahead and run this app. The problem that I was looking for is not here anymore. So I have a feeling they were fixing my, you know what they did? I think they were fixing my tenant in the middle. So here's the thing. This is the app that it creates. Here, it gives you this. Remember the traditional, when you make an app from data,
Yeah.
you know, that form? It gives the new modern look where you have, here's the search, the look, the edits, right? And I want to edit something. I can go over and then food. So now I can, and it gives you this extra thing. Basically, I can ask questions about the data. Remember those suggestions? Like this one. What is the most common blood type? Let's see what it does. O plus, is that true? I can go back here to patient details and probably look through these patients and see that it's there. Okay, that's interesting. Like say, who has type A blood? See if it'll tell me. Look at chat. Jane Smith has type A blood. I'm sorry. I went into patients over here, but I'm already liking this more than my last example. Who's allergic to latex? There we go. How about that? Uh, who is allergic to latex? Because I was planning on having. No, that may be not true. I may. Okay. Poor Alex can't come to my latex party. I can't do it. I, I'm sorry, but that's pretty cool. I think. I know it errored into this area, but I still think that's cool. And more importantly, the error that I said I was warning everyone about earlier has been fixed, which means, oh, if that's the case, let me close this and save it. And I'm going to go and find, hey, close. We're going to get Craig immersed in this next week. M365 Chicago. Let's go here again. Let's go hit the save. Save. Let me go try to find an app that I created already. All right, so let's go back, leave. Let's go to my apps. I should have one sitting in here that I did earlier. Well, maybe not. Let me change my environment. When in doubt, change your environment.
Come on, Ralph, upper right-hand corner.
I'm waiting. Oh, yes, I see it. There we go. Let's see. Where would I have put it? I could have put it here in my environment. Let's go see. Go to apps. Modified. No, it's not here because otherwise it would have been here. Let's try it again.
Default environment.
One of these has my app, and I'm trying to find it. Maybe it's under dev. No, I guess it's. I didn't save it. It should have saved. I'm going to try and make just a new app, and just really, we're going to make a home. We're going to go. My certifications in Microsoft tracks certifications Power Platform for my developer team, showing when they are scheduled to take exams, when they passed, scores, and include their email and contact and email and what else we care about them, and availability. There we go. Okay, let's go see. All right, it went right away to this. So let's see what it does. Remember before it thought a bit, and then before it went here, now it's thinking. Check it out. Certifications, score, their email address, exam date, passed, yes or no. All right, let's just go ahead and create the app. I wanted to see if it solves the one problem that I was stuck at. They didn't send me an email saying they fixed the problem. I was expecting one. Maybe it came and I just didn't look. We'll take a look at this and then we'll adjourn for our podcast because I think we're at our 30-minute mark coming up. Or an hour mark, I should say, coming up.
Yeah. The only other thing that I wanted to maybe touch on was,
yes, while we're waiting for this.
So if you could pull up the roadmap thingy.
Yes, let's get back to that roadmap.
I don't see the roadmap. Where's the roadmap? Come on, Ralph.
I'm trying to find it. It's slow. Slow. Come on, roadmap. It's coming up right away.
Ralph.
I know. I got to get a new one. It is ordered. It's on. It's coming. So hold on a second. Power apps. Power apps. 5 more. Power apps. 15 minutes. It's got to be one of these guys. Probably this. Here we go.
Bing.
Roadmap.
I put a link to it in the chat, so it's already there if you want. It makes it easier to find it.
Oh yes,
That
I got the
that
release
one won't
planner
work.
right over here too. So hold on a second. Here we go. Here's the release planner. Got it. All right, back to the release planner. Yes, this one.
So under Power Platform, under governance, they talked a lot about some of the improvements in governance for the Power Platform, which is exciting. But if you go here, there's a lot of
whoa.
new stuff coming out
Yes,
in
look at
May.
this. Yes, a lot of
And
this
it's
stuff
all
is
licensing, Ralph. This is like
this is why my licensing class is going to come back, because guess what? All this stuff is coming up. Planned.
So this is really important stuff to check out if you're managing a SharePoint or a Power Platform environment, or M365. Things that you're going to want to know about. The licensing auto claim, I think, is going to
Yeah, this
be
was going to be in May. It got updated to June.
June. Yeah, I think there was a lot of feedback that they don't want that.
Yeah. Yes. Visibility across your licenses for your organization. Power Platform data policy and governance controls. What's under that one? Auto deletion of inactive environments. I think that's sort of been updated. Exempt data groups. I mean, a lot of this. There's going to be so much governance stuff that's coming out. It's not even funny. But
Well,
yes,
and the thing to tell
huge.
people is that next week is the M365 conference, right? So
yes.
a lot of the stuff that was NDA for us is going to get announced there. So
Well, I'm not sure if it necessarily announced, because technically speaking, it's not a Microsoft thing, so they're not going to announce anything. Let's say groundbreaking. They're going to cover the stuff that's known, like as in no longer NDA. They can actually talk about it because it's in the plan, right? So it says May. They're okay to talk about it. They're okay to show it. It might not be like the formal announcement like they would, because I think build is when they're going to do formal announcements.
for Power Platform, build might be the thing, but
yes. Oh, for the other things maybe.
Jeff Tepper has said that there will be some announcements in the Teams area, so I don't.
So probably the team stuff that probably is going to get announced by Microsoft anyway, just before that officially, and they're going to just use that to be the showcase for that. That makes sense. But Power Platform, I think, is going to be in build. Is where they actually do the stuff. Speaking of which, let's go take a look at our app. Oh, see, this is what I was expecting to see. See that something went wrong. That's the error message that's still going on right now. And I think I know what the problem is. The problem is certain environments have it and certain environments. So, but this was what I was expecting to see. But that being said, if I play this, you'll see that certification trackings did get itself the treatment for the pieces. All right. And then the idea, of course, is now you see how I have how do I add a flow to get approvals for certifications. This is the Copilot stuff, and that this one should be working. Aha, check it out. Look at this. Now, this is the initial part, right? In Canvas apps, you can easily add to get approvals. Check it out. It's the full instructions in detail. All right. What's going to happen next after this? It will be a button that says "Do it for me." That's coming. That's not an NDA. That's on the plans. They'll eventually get there. When it'll happen, now that may be NDA, or that we can't talk about necessarily right now. But that is something that is the logical step that everyone asks for, and it's going to come. To what extent, to what level, we don't know. But this is, for example, the Copilot. This is when they say Copilot, this is what we mean. This other stuff helped you get started. That wasn't really Copilot. That's more accelerator. This is the true definition of a Copilot. Yeah? Is good?
Yeah, it looks cool.
right. Let's minimize out. Oh no, nobody see my crazy schedule over here. Page expired. All right. My flight receipts, all my money that I spent out there. Alrighty. I think that would be it. Let me stop sharing on our area over here. That probably is a better idea to do. All right. So, Mr. Craig, next month, I'm not sure what's going on at the end of next month. Isn't that close to Memorial Day? I think.
Oh, yeah, it's close to Memorial Day. I have a stakeholder duty on the 31st, which is the last Wednesday of the month.
Hmm.
Um,
So
bec-
we might like do a podcasty thing maybe the week before or something to make up. So we might do another care package.
we could do something on the 24th if we wanted to have a meeting or whatnot, but I have my daughter has a band concert.
Okay. Okay, so that's coming up. So what we're going to do, folks, from this point out, is we're going to have little care packages as podcasts where we can't have a meeting. That way, you're connected, and of course, you can now interact with us this way over here on the YouTube or back in the meetup area, any of those places. And if you've seen the links before, maybe we'll post them again on the channel over here where these links are to interact with us. Go ahead and do that, and that way, as they say, the fun never stops, right? We don't, and of course, the next time we meet live, there will be pizza. There will be pizza.
Always be pizza.
Always. All right, sir. Okay. Raquel is our producer right now for our podcast. Raquel, can you say bye bye and sign us out?
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you for playing.